What's up, everybody? It's another Why We Love Horror because movies are coming out. I'm JWMaher. That's Aaron Brooks. Aaron, what's going on today?
Hello. I'm in my home. You are not in your home. We are still, or at least it doesn't look like your home.
I am not home. I'm at the beach.
Yes, it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're here to review the newest Pete Davidson horror joint. It's called The Home, and it's directed by the guy who did The Purge.
James DeMonico, yes.
DeMonico, and the producer of Halloween, which it's always a good sign when they put a producer tag on a poster. But yeah, what you want to give this one a shot? You're always better at these than me.
Sure. Pete Davidson plays Max, who is a foster youth, and his upbringing is pretty decent. But then he loses his older foster brother, and that sends him into a spiral of he becomes a vandal. And instead of being sent away, they decide to give him community service where he works at an old age home. But this old age home has secrets, and is something being done to the residents there? Why are there wacky residents on the top floor, and why isn't he allowed to go there? Why isn't he allowed to go in the basement? I don't know. We'll find out in The Home.
Yeah. Off the bat, the movie that I kind of automatically, I think we both automatically compared this to is The Rule of Jenny Penn, which I'm finally able to say that name after months of calling it Baby Jane or whatever I called it. But The Rule of Jenny Penn came out earlier this year. If you haven't seen that, it's on Shudder. Go check it out. John Lithgow, Jeffrey Rush, in an old age home in New Zealand, I believe.
They're in New Zealand, correct.
And I'll get it out of the way. I prefer that movie to this, but this movie is a very different approach also. So they're not quite trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, the setting is the same. Some of the vibes are the same.
At times.
Everything else is totally different.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think this is an Armageddon Deep Impact situation or anything like that. I also really like Pete Davidson. So I have no problem admitting that. I didn't love Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I liked him in Bodies, 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 though, but he was my favorite character in that movie. But overall, Bodies, 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 for whatever reason, just doesn't work for me. But King of Staten Island, I've liked his performances in a lot of things, even Bupkis, an unfairly underwatched show on, Peacock. He's been good and stuff. So I'm good with him. And so I was excited to watch this movie, and I did go into it after you slightly. So I did know that it got crazy. So, but for me, the slow burn element, the mysterious elements of the first 2/3 of this movie, I can rock with anyways. I thought we're done rather well. There's some weird kind of subliminal flashes at points, I feel which if I went back and watched, maybe I noticed, but it definitely throws you into an eerie feeling immediately. And it's not going for kind of cheap gag throughout, which I appreciated.
Yeah. It's I guess it's for the first not even 2/3, for the first 9/10 of the movie, it's a mystery movie. Mm-hmm. It's he gets there, he's basically they say he's a superintendent, but he's really just a glorified janitor. He empties trash, he vacuums stuff, he helps out when they ask him to. There's a lot of rules. His supervisors, who I guess are also superintendents, are very borderline hostile to him all the time.
It's almost like he's a patient of the institution.
Yeah. And then there's the head person who's the doctor, Bruce Altman, who we both love, does a great job. But then there's also some really good characters in the place. He befriends several of the residents. Then there's a lot of just side characters. The people on the top floor are just all catatonic folks. And of course his curiosity gets the best of him, and he starts doing stuff he's not supposed to. And that's when I should probably throw up spoilers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he starts to particularly seem to have a connection with one of the older residents in particular, who reminded me of the old man from Under the Silver Lake. It's just you start to get the flashbacks of his brother and kind of the trauma growing up. And then you're realizing, oh my God, this old man, he is his brother. And they are doing is it the Andromeda? Is that what's in the younger people's eyes or whatever? Whatever the chemical is, it's the fountain of youth. It comes from the eyes of
There's
younger.
there's some kind of sac behind the eyes that you can drain, and it is all the body horror. There's not a ton of body horror in the movie, but the body horror they do is over the top. There's a lot. If you can't stand needles in eyes, if you're not a Lucio Fulci fan,
Yes.
stay away, because there's a lot of needles in eyes in this movie. And I would say he has there's John Glover plays like the older artsy guy who he's friends with, and there's an old woman he's friends with. The old woman winds up getting killed, and it seems like everybody who he befriends, all the older people he befriends, become targeted by the home. So it's like this self-perpetuating oppression he's going through there. Like the attic is where all the test subjects are, the basement is where the tests are done. And we find out that the home itself and the entire scenario has been orchestrated, and everyone is in on it. From the foster parents to the psychiatrist to all the employees of the home are part of a longevity cult where they harvest this hormone from younger people in order to make themselves live into their 110s, 120s, 130s. All these people are well over 100 years old, and they've done it by basically being hormone vampires, I guess.
Yeah, and then it also makes the younger people older much quicker as well. So there was, and it's like, once that twist comes up, like it does kind of turn into like a mayhem type of movie, like almost like that's what a Belko experiment, like that lasts like 10 minutes is just a fever ride.
It becomes like the end of Mandy.
Yeah, and there's like, for the most part, the camera doesn't do the cheap look away. It kind of stays on these kills as they're happening. There's a lot of practicals in there as well. I don't think it was digital blood. If it was, it's like really good digital blood because I didn't notice. And I always
they did. That was just gallons of blood.
Right.
That was just
so like, which it just makes a difference. Like it does. Like it's a lot of fun there towards the end there, and it does kind of reward you for the journey. And like, is the mystery the best mystery I've ever seen? No. Is the body horror the best body horror I've ever seen? No. Is the action at the end the best action I've ever seen? No. Another movie I'd compare it to. It's not anywhere like similar. The Nick Frost movie that came out earlier this year or last year that we loved.
Getaway.
Getaway. With how that kind of completely turns and rewards you kind of for the mystery. Getaway is much better again. But it's like that prototype of a movie. So if you like those types of movies, like I don't, for me, it didn't ruin it knowing that it got crazy towards the end. I think you kind of go into it knowing that. I'm seeing like, and I try not to focus too much on other reviews, but I'm seeing a lot of like really harsh reviews on this movie.
I don't understand that at all.
I'm like confused, calling it like the worst movie I've ever seen, the worst mystery I've ever seen. I guess just for some people being feeling off-putting for like 45 plus minutes. Some people just can't kind of ride with that, but that's kind of why I sign up for a movie like this.
I mean, I guess this is like derivative of like kind of like Get Out or kind of like The Skeleton Key, but it's also not, because like these movies don't go anywhere near as hard as this movie does in the last 10 minutes.
No, and I do think like it shows like a really, again, to go back, a good Pete Davidson performance. So I feel like people think he's just one guy. And while it sounds like from the setup, he's that same guy as usual, I don't think he plays that guy at all, especially within the home. Like he does pretty good without trying to get like cloyingly emotional about his foster brother. Like he's not trying to like make you cry in this movie, but like he also isn't trying to be like, whoa, ever. Like he's not quite the same Pete. So I thought it was a good performance too.
Just to fully rip the Band-Aid off, Pete gets Max gets captured. They harvest him, and he gets put up on the 4th floor. But the brother, does like a hero lap and like basically takes the remaining fluid of all the patients and force feeds it, which is fucking gross, to Max, and he becomes young again, and then he just fucking it's Hobo with a Shotgun level like nonsense for like 10 straight minutes. Plus, like they're hinting the entire movie like a hurricane's coming, so it's like in the middle of a hurricane, he's like killing everybody, which is it's great.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's pretty much everything I've got to say about this.
Yeah, same here. Let's jump on over to the old ratings. And I know our ratings, so you can go first.
Yeah. So I definitely like this movie quite a bit. And, I tried to get the comparisons to Jenny Penn on my head because that's one of my 10 favorite horror movies of the year right now. Love Jenny Penn. I really like this movie. So 3.5 videotapes is very strong. 3.5 though for me. I mean, like I said, the mystery elements maybe could have been a little sharper and maybe a little more of an interest, like working interest, like an interesting use of the setting. I feel like sometimes the setting got a little bit boring, and I don't think you need to necessarily make an old folks home boring in a movie, as weird as that sounds. So that would be like my nitpicks. I keep it from like that 4 or higher. Like, I love this is competing for top 10.
Yeah, I would say as I was like going through the movie, I'm like, it was just like a solid like 3, like body horror, mystery horror movie, and then that whole ending happens, and I was like, I can't not reward this effort. So I'm at a 4 just for the sake of like the state of the end. State of the end. Oh my god.
It's an 88-minute movie. Hang in there.
Yeah, state of the end. Four videotapes for me.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for this week. If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, share, go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out our Letterboxd challenge here on Letterboxd, and we have a show about that every week. But there's a prompt every week for a movie you can watch. Schedule here is the same. Sunday, Why We Love Horror TV, still covering Dexter Resurrection for the time being. Monday is Versus. Tuesday, Why Liv Loves Horror. Wednesday, Aaron Unwinds. Usually. Thursday is the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Challenge watch along show I just mentioned. And Friday, you get 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror trivia every week. So until next time, I'm JWMaher, and that's Aaron Brooks. This has been Why We Love Horror.